So what we were discussing in the last lecture?
Export of goods and
Export of goods and
services.
services. And in relation to that, section 7 of the FEMA we talked about.
Yes, sir.
And today we are discussing the regulations relating to export of goods and services. Right? See this is only in relation to export, not in relation to import. Okay. Now, big list of the regulations. Who's authorized dealer? That is already known to you. Now, what is the meaning of the word export? Technically, you know that, but see the definition. This is export includes the taking or sending out of goods by land, sea, or air on consignment or by way of sale or lease or hire purchase or under other arrangement by whatever name called. What is the meaning of this word? By whatever name called.
Export, foreign trade, international trade.
Whatever name is given, whether you call it a lease or hire purchase or any other project execution, etc., whatever name is given, irrespective of that, the fact remains ultimately goods are leaving the country. Goods are going to some other place, and that those goods may be going by land or sea or air, whatever be the mode, whatever be the transaction. Ultimately, the effect is goods are leaving the country and going to some other place. That will be referred as export. Right. And in case of software, also includes
By email also, electronic media.
Electronic media. Okay, so no physical transmission, no transfer of the material from here. Everything is being transferred digitally. That is also referred as export.
Yes.
Okay, so export term is little broader than what is generally understood. So in the last lecture, I spoke about how many types of export take place. Export may be as a consignment. Consignment, this is a sale. Okay, or leasing or hire purchase or different type of arrangements. So here we had taken the number of examples, maybe for the purpose of the goods are being sent abroad by way of samples, by way of the gift, for the participation in the exhibitions abroad. Number of reasons can be there for the goods being exported, but the ultimate effect is goods are leaving the country. Right. But at the same time, we also have to understand that every time goods are being sent or services are being provided, money is not likely to be received. Money is not likely to be received. Say, for example, if some Indian company wants to have a project outside India, and for that, instead of sending the money, they are sending the goods from India. So whether they are going to realize the money for that? Certainly not. That is going as an investment. They are not going to realize the money. But is it an export? Yes, it is an export, because the goods are going out of the country. What is the export value? Now, this is again something different. This is export value in relation to export by way of lease or hire purchase or under any other similar arrangement. Includes the charges by whatever name called payable in respect of such a lease or hire purchase or any other similar arrangement. So the real whatever the purpose of this definition is only this word. Otherwise, we know the export value. In general, if somebody tells you what is the export value, how you are going to explain?
What is your CAF or FOB, the value that you have given in the invoice, commercial invoice?
Right. That is what is going to be declared as a value.
Yes.
But here the export value is inclusive of other charges also. In case of lease, in case of hire purchase, or some other arrangement, some interest component is going to be added. Some service component is going to be added. Right? So this is not a case on where the payment is going to be made in installment. This is a different concept altogether, leasing and hire purchase, where the installment is having some part of the principal, some part of the interest, and also some part of the management charges, managing fees. All those taken together, export value is going to be described. Right? So export value doesn't mean only the value. if the transaction is having any other component other than value of the goods, then that is also the part of export value.
It includes bank charges as well, sir.
Whatever include the charges by whatever name called, right? Question is, are you passing on the burden to the customer or not? So anything for which the burden is being passed on to the customer, that will be included in the export value. So if you are paying the banking charges by yourself, the burden is not being passed on to the customer, then that will not be a part of export value. In nutshell, export value means any amount for which the burden is passed on to the customer. Right. So that may be bank charges, that may be interest, that may be management fees, that may be consultancy fees. So whatever name you give it, ultimately the burden is being passed on to the customer. Okay.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
the word form. Two forms are prescribed under these regulations. Only two forms are prescribed. One form is EDF,
And Softex.
Export Declaration Form, EDF. Number two, Softex.
Softex.
Right? EDF is required for all goods, and Softex is required for only
Software.
software. Right? But if you are exporting some services, then which form is going to be used for that?
Softex.
No.
Service.
Service. Softex is only for the software, not
But
for everything else.
software plus service. That's what.
We'll see this.
Okay.
Okay. So when I say form, so two forms are there. Here itself, you can add EDF and Softex. EDF is for the goods and Softex is for the software. Now, what is called a software? This is defined here. So software is not only the computer software. It is much broader than that. Software means a computer program. That is one. Database, drawing, design, audio video signals, any information by whatever name called in or any medium other than or in the physical medium. So whether it is physical medium or non-physical medium, that doesn't make a difference. So even if the data is being transferred online, that is a software. It is being transferred in the physical form, that is also software. There is no difference. Earlier, all these things were transferred in physical form. Maybe CD, maybe magnetic tapes, maybe something like that. But as of today, nothing happens. Everything is transferred online. That is much faster, much safer. Okay. So this is not only computer program. This is database. Any type of database will also be referred as a software, plus a drawing, plus design, plus audio video signals. Any name you give it. If it is not in physical form, it will be referred as a software.
So your accounting and auditing also will come under this. Accounting and auditing.
Is it a database or not?
Yes. So that will come under that.
That can also come under the same category. But that is a service which is given on ongoing basis. Okay. That is not one-time activity. Now, specified authority. Which authority is specified?
To the RBI.
The declarations are made either to the customs or these are given to the Ministry of Information Technology. Declarations in relation to goods are given to the customs, that is Commissioner of Customs, and for software, the declaration is given to the Ministry of Information Technology. Later on, we are going to see that, but here I'm just giving you the reference. Okay. Now, regulation number 3. This says, in case of export taking place through
customs manual ports.
Manual port. Which is the other port? EDI.
Mission.
EDI. Right.
Like
so where you can say completed, not completely digital, that is manual. And if it is completely digital, that is referred as EDI. So regulation number 3 is meant for what?
It's only manual portal.
It is only for manual port. Now, port does not mean it is only the seaport.
Yes.
Any customs station is being referred here.
Mm.
Every exporter of the goods or services in software in physical form. See this. Goods are always in physical form.
Including of ICD also, sir.
Pardon?
Here, ICD also,
That
inland
will
container
also be
depot.
taken care of if everything is being done at ICD.
Okay.
ICD is an extension of the port only.
Port, yes.
Okay. So every exporter of goods,
Certainly.
right? This software in physical form. Okay. So if it is not in physical form, then this is not required. Either directly or indirectly to any place outside India. But that is other than Nepal and Bhutan. Shall furnish to the specified authority. Which authority?
Customs authority.
That is Commissioner of Customs, or you can say Customs, right? Because ultimately it is going through the customs port only. Specified authority, a declaration in one of the forms set out in the schedule and supported by such evidence as may be specified, containing the true and correct material particulars, including the amount representing. But what is the declaration required? The declaration is not only this. I'm going to talk about what are the declarations required to be made. First of all, what is given the regulation? Because this is a FEMA regulation. So FEMA regulation is restricted to money part only. Another declaration is required that whatever is being exported, that is not something prohibited. Number two, all the applicable rules, regulations, and all the laws have been complied with. In addition to that, there is a value. Right. So declaration is not only limited to value. Declaration is also required in respect of compliance with all the applicable laws. So that is not the part of these regulations. So this says the full export value of the goods or services. What is the meaning of export value?
So including all the charges which is passed on to the client.
That's why we defined this term export value.
Yes.
Okay. Or if the value is not known, then what? So if the export value, if the full export value is not ascertainable at the time of export, the value which the exporter, having regard to the prevailing market conditions, expect to receive on the sale of the goods or software in the overseas market, what he is likely to receive.
So how come he doesn't know the market price, sir? He is the one who is doing the costing. So in what way he is not able to come up with the marketing, the price of the product?
Maybe you're sending out or exporting some of the old equipments.
But still there is a cost.
What do you expect to realize that declaration you can give?
Sir,
when the price is already known for the transaction that you are making the declaration here, and the full price is not known at that point of time, then this option is available.
Sir, when you are sending some product, you need to you need to make a commercial invoice. Commercial invoice. Sir, we need to know, sir.
If you are sending the gift, then what?
Gift is different, but gift is not going to be realized back.
That is not going to be realized. But if the value is more than 5 lakh, then the declaration is required or not?
Yes.
If the value of the gift is not exceeding 5 lakh, then the declaration is not required. But if it is more than 5 lakh, whether the declaration is required or not?
That is required, but here it is export value.
Nothing realized. Okay. So here it is said if the full value export is not ascertainable for any reason, whatever be the reason at the time of export. Now this word is also important. Maybe the negotiation is still on, the price has not been freezed. Then what to do?
To watch full video, join the regular online batch Call Tayal Institute.